Told the New York Times that you believe former President Donald Trump's, quote, intolerance for everybody has contributed to the surge in anti-Semitism and Islamophobia. How so?
Well, look, when you show intolerance towards everyone, which is what he does, you give permission as a leader for others to have their intolerance come out. And so, intolerance towards anyone encourages intolerance towards everyone. And that's exactly what's going on here.
You said something we haven't heard before, that you're in this through the convention, the summer.
Yep.
But here's what you told us in July. Listen.
After I lost in New Hampshire 8 years ago, Poppy, I got out.
Yeah.
And I think I wouldn't feel comfortable asking donors for more money or voters for their vote if I didn't see a realistic path to victory.
Then you also told the New York Times in September, if I don't do well in New Hampshire, then I leave. What changed?
Well, nothing's really changed. I just have gone much better in New Hampshire. And so it seems to me that there's no path now that doesn't include me continuing. I'm going to do well in New Hampshire.
What's well?
I think right now I'm in the top 3, and I think I'm going to do even better than that. And so, that's what's changed. What's changed is that we've started to move up in the polls pretty significantly. Ron DeSantis and Vivek Ramaswamy have dropped significantly in New Hampshire. And so that's what's changed. And so I'm going to continue to keep you guys updated as circumstances change. And circumstances have changed.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Would you sign a 6-week abortion ban?
I would not sign a 6-week national abortion ban. And the reason I wouldn't is because we fought for 50 years, and I think we had this conversation a little bit before. We fought for 50 years to put this in the hands of the people, to say the federal government, in that case the Supreme Court, had taken it out of the hands of the people and given them no voice. Now people are having a voice, and we've seen it. You mentioned Virginia, Michigan, Ohio, Kansas. And one thing I know for sure is there is no consensus around a 6-week abortion ban nationally.
Do you think that makes her unelectable?
I think it makes it much more difficult in a general election for her because you could see when Governor DeSantis signed that bill in Florida, it certainly affected his popularity with a broader electorate.
There are some big money guys, and there are guys who, Ken Langone, who backed you in 2016 until you dropped out of the race, planning to meet with Nikki Haley next week. He told CNBC the only person I see who can give Trump a run for his money is Nikki Haley. Ken Griffin, the big financier, big Republican donor, told Bloomberg he was actively contemplating it when it comes to Nikki Haley. Are you worried about the big money going after Haley?
I'm really not because
Really?
No, because none of them have.
You don't want it? Well,
none of them have. And look, I've met with Ken Griffin and spoken to him as well. I think he's going through the process of trying to decide if there's someone that he believes could beat Donald Trump and if he wants to support that person. And there's plenty of other folks. And we've had a number of people, both folks that I've known over the years on Wall Street and folks around the country who have been supporting our campaign and supporting our super PAC. And so I don't feel concerned at all. We feel like you always can use more money, Poppy. So no one's going to say no.
this is why you surprised me when you said you're not worried.
No, well, but you can't worry about this stuff. You go out and work. We heard a lot of support. 2/3 of the audience that I had was very supportive of my position on Ukraine, which is that we haven't done enough.
Match or exceed that.
The House has approved a $40 billion aid package for Ukraine.
The U.S. sending an additional $400 million in military aid to Ukrainian forces.
The White House has announced it is sending a $2 billion aid package to Ukraine.
The Pentagon said the U.S. will provide Ukraine with $1.2 billion in military aid.
The $3 billion in direct aid to Ukraine includes 50 Bradley fighting vehicles. It's the first time the armored carrier will be sent to Ukraine. The package also includes nearly 300 other armored vehicles, as well as air defense systems and anti-tank rockets.
We're going to be small, or are we going to be big?